of the Women-Led Development Series, which is being co-organized by Ministry of Women and Child Development, Government of India, and UN Women. This webinar focuses on celebrating women in uniform, administration, and public policy. Dr. Rao, let me come to you first.
Yes.
Share with us your experiences of breaking the gender stereotypes, of breaking the glass ceiling, and leading by example for so many women and girls to enter what this country and all countries across the world have considered to be traditionally male-dominated professions.
Okay, so I am Dr. Seema Rao, and I'm privileged to be India's only woman commando trainer. I'm 52 years old, and I've worked for almost 25 years as a guest resource, training the Indian forces in the arena of close quarter battle training. I've trained about 25,000 commandos and soldiers from the Indian Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Para, Special Forces, the NSG, the Garuds, the Marcos, the paramilitary like the BSF and the ITBP, as well as the anti-terror squads of about 12 states. Apart from that, I've authored the first encyclopedia of close combat ops, and this book was it's the first one of its kind in the world, and it was accepted by the FBI, the Interpol, and SWAT libraries all over the world. Speaking of women breaking the glass ceiling, I would like to just talk a little bit about my story. As a child, I was weak, and I was afraid of a lot of things. I was scared of water, I was scared of heights, I was scared of confrontation, and it was obviously something that I never thought I would overcome. One episode of Eve teasing on the street helped me in attaining my black belt at a very early age in martial arts. My husband encouraged me to get rid of my fear of heights. So I still remember I didn't want to do anything about it, but he said, why don't you try to overcome your fear of heights? So I enrolled in mountaineering, because I thought that would be closest to getting rid of my fear of heights. So I enrolled in this mountaineering institute, and it was about a 1.5 month long course that I was going for, far from home. But I decided that I had to face my fears someday. So I decided to go for it, and the course started well, and there were physicals, a lot of physical training and making us run up slopes. And within the first 5 days, I think about almost 7 people were disqualified from the course, and there were about 40 of us. So 7 were disqualified, and the rest of us were wondering now what's going to happen to us. So in any case, we eventually started the climbs, and as we went on climbing, there was also an acclimatization process that we had to undergo. So we kept climbing and then staying one night at a certain height to acclimatize us. Things went on, and though I was fairly prepared for my course, but still, because of the cold, it was a cold months, it was November, December. So the cold and the altitude and the hypoxia, everything worked together on my knee joint, and my knee joint got swollen. And my instructor told me that you're a young lady, and I don't think I can let you go ahead and climb further, so you have to go home. So I didn't want to go back, because I was desperate to go and face my fear of heights. So I told him, precisely because I'm young and I have a life ahead of me, please don't let me go back, because it's going to break my spirit, and I wish to do this. So I think he got touched by my desperation, and he said, okay, fine, I will let you go ahead. I went ahead, and as we kept climbing, and we were into rappelling and doing all kinds of activities on the snow and the ice. And every time I'd look down the steep slopes, I would feel fear in my heart, and I would feel giddy. and I would think I'm just going to tumble and fall. But at the same time, I would see the sky up there and I would wonder, why am I feeling so scared? And slowly and gradually, I began to conquer my fear of heights. And finally, when we reached the summit, I was up there looking at the sky right on top of a mountain. And as I looked down, I actually felt like I had conquered my fear of heights and not just reached the summit. So that was one incident where I could manage to conquer my fear of heights. Then I was also very afraid of water. So I decided to do something about this as well. So I enrolled in a PADI, Professional Association of Diving Instructors, which is a very famous, well-known organization of scuba diving. I enrolled in a course with them. And the course started very well because they explain everything about your suit and how to scuba dive and things like that. They put you through a nice intensive training. So I went through that, and finally it was a day when we went out into the sea, and he asked me to sit down. He asked me to take a jump into the water. I looked at the water and I froze with fear. I thought, I can't do this. I must just go back. So seeing my fear, my instructor said, it's okay, don't worry, just sit by the edge of the boat and get a hold on yourself. So I sat at the edge of the boat, and I was just thinking. I closed my eyes, and as I did this, suddenly he caught hold of my ankles and he just pushed me backwards, and I was just somersaulted into the water, and I went down, came up with frightened. And then suddenly I realized that there was no way out. I was already in the water, so I started deflating my BCD and the cylinder, the air cylinder, and slowly I started sinking deeper and deeper. I was terrified with fear, but I just kept doing it. I just continued doing what I was doing. And as I went deeper and deeper, what I saw under the water was so magnificent and so beautiful that there was no way I could be scared. So I realized that this is so beautiful. This is one more world below us, which we don't know about. But it's so beautiful. Why am I scared? And the fear just evaporated. I was just one with what I was seeing around me, the fish, the life, the nature. And that is how I could get rid of my fear of water. So I could just say one thing, that we all need to overcome our fears. We have different fears, and it's always a fight trying to overcome your fear, because your mind tells you can't do it, and somewhere you have to tell yourself that I'm going to do it no matter what. We started training the forces. Actually, my husband got involved with training the forces, the Indian Army, and this was about 25 years ago. I'm 52 today, and I told him that I too would very much want to be a part of training the forces. So our journey started with unarmed combat, and then later on it went on to shooting, and then team shootings, QRT shootings. And QRT is a quick response team, so a full team shooting together, as well as this went on further into close quarter battle ops, and which are helpful in counter-terrorism. So this training which we did for the forces was without compensation. It was our way of doing service to the country. And so I'd like to tell the women who are listening and who are seeing what we are we are here talking to them. I would like to tell them that a woman has beauty, brain and brawn, all of this packaged into one. Where it came to me, I was a part of a beauty pageant because I just wanted to. I was an action woman, Everyone said that, you're in camo boots and, constantly with your camo uniform. Why don't you go and, just see what it is to participate in a beauty pageant? People encouraged me. And I was like, no. In the beginning, I said, no, I'm an action woman. I don't want to do any of that. But then later I said, okay, let me see how it goes. I became a part of the beauty pageant. It was interesting. It was another color of life, let me say. and I met so many different women because it was a Mrs. India world, so there were women from all over the country, and it was nice interacting with them. And then it was wearing makeup and wearing those high heeled shoes, and finally on the day of the final day, I walked the ramp and I even flexed my biceps because I wanted to do something different, and I was a runner up in the beauty pageant. Apart from that, when it comes to brain, let me say that at the age of almost 40, I decided to go to Westminster Business School in London and complete my leadership and management program. So there's never any age limit for anything. A woman can do whatever she likes and whatever she wants to do at any age. There age no bar, no limit. So concluding all of this, let me just say that if I can do it, I think anyone can. So that's what I'd like to say to everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. It's such a privilege to even be speaking to you today. Many things that I have so many things to really continue to this conversation from the things that you've said. But thank you for just living the life that you did, overcoming your fears, because you're a role model for the rest of the country today for so many women and girls. And sometimes I think as women, we don't realize that when we conquer our fears, we just don't conquer it for ourselves. We conquer it for millions of women out there who are still made to think that there are things that they can do and they cannot do. From the incredible stories that you shared, what would be your advice to your younger self, and what would be those magical words for younger women watching, who for you is probably, you're a dream to me, and you're probably a dream to all younger women watching you. What would be your advice?
First and foremost, I'd like to tell every woman that...
Sorry, you're on mute.
Okay, just a minute. First and foremost, I'd like to tell every woman that she is a powerhouse and she needs to just unleash her inherent attributes. I'd like to also say that every woman should explore her aptitude, because there could be something that she's very good at. So she needs to explore, she needs to find out what she's good at. And once she sees, she understands that, she continues to walk on that path and she will meet success. Apart from that, what I'd like to tell my younger self is do not doubt yourself and do not get deterred by criticism, because criticism is the best form of appreciation. If you can take criticism and work towards bettering yourself, then nothing like it. Do not allow, be the best judge of yourself. If you are getting better every day than you were yesterday, then you're walking on the right path. So this would be my advice to the women out there.
So Dr. Rao, I think this is an incredible story. I don't have enough words to tell you how important and how much strength those listening into this conversation. Dr. Rao, thank you so much